Section 12, Control of Hazardous Energy. The references for this are EM 385, TAC 1, TAC 1, Section 12, 29 CFR 1926.600 A3I, Heavy Equipment, 29 CFR 1926.702 J1, Concrete Tools, 29 CFR 1926.417 Electrical Circuits, 29 CFR 1910.147 Subpart J, and the Uniform Facilities Guide Specification 01-35-29, the latest edition. Hazardous energy is any energy including but not limited to mechanical, for example, power transmission apparatus, counterbalances, springs, pressure and gravity, pneumatic, hydraulic, electrical, chemical, nuclear, and thermal, for example, high and low temperature energies that could cause injury to employees. Hazardous energy sources can include electrical, hydraulic, pneumatic, steam, thermal, chemical, and gravity. Potential mishap outcomes could include electrical shock and electrocutions, thermal burns, struck by objects, crushed by or caught between, loss of limb, mechanical entanglement, engulfment, and property damage, injury, or death. The prime contractor, as the controlling contractor, is also responsible for the hazardous energy control procedures of all of their subcontractors. The prime and the subcontractors shall fully coordinate all hazardous energy control activities with one another throughout the planning and implementation of work. Procedures to be used shall be discussed and coordinated to ensure all contractor, government, or public persons are protected from hazardous energy, especially where crossover of contractor programs occur. When working on or near any system that produces, uses, or stores hazardous energy, a hazardous energy control program is required. The contractor shall develop ANSI A10.44. This hazardous energy control program shall be submitted as part of their accident prevention plan to the GDA for acceptance. The hazardous energy control program shall clearly and specifically outline the scope, purpose, authorization, roles and responsibilities, rules and techniques to be used for the control of hazardous energy. An affected employee is an employee whose job requires him or her to work in an area in which such servicing or maintenance is being performed. Both parties shall ensure that their own personnel understand and comply with the rules and restrictions of the procedures agreed upon to be used for the job, and ensure that their employees affected by the hazardous energy control activity are notified when the procedural steps outlined in the hazardous energy control program are to be initiated. Training applicable to the roles and responsibilities shall be provided to ensure that the purpose and function of the hazardous energy control procedures are understood by employees and that employees possess the knowledge and skills required for the safe application, usage, and removal of hazardous energy control devices. When tagout systems are used, only when lockout is not possible, employees shall be trained in the limitations of tags. All training shall be documented, and the documentation shall contain the names of the employees trained, the time, date, and location of the training, the name and qualifications of the trainer. Some definitions. Tagout, a form of hazardous energy control procedure using the placement of a tagout device in accordance with established procedures on an energy isolating device to indicate that the energy isolating device and the system being controlled may not be operated until the tagout device is removed. Lockout, a form of hazardous energy control using the placement of a lockout device in accordance with the established procedures on an energy isolating device to ensure that the energy isolating device and the system being controlled cannot be operated until the lockout device is removed. This indicates various types of lockout devices. There are locks, blocks, chains, multi-lock hasps, wheel valve covers, and ball valve covers. Locks and tags shall be capable of withstanding the environment that they are exposed to for the maximum period of time the exposure is expected, and indicate the identity of the employee applying the device, not used for anything other than lockout activities, and applied and removed only by authorized employees. Locks shall be substantial enough to prevent removal without the use of excessive force or unusual techniques. Systems with energy isolating devices that are capable of being locked out shall be locked out. Tags shall, in addition, meet the following requirements: have standardized print and format, constructed and printed to ensure UV light, wet locations, or corrosive environments will not deteriorate the tag, shall be attached in a reusable method, and shall warn against hazardous conditions. When tags only must be used, i.e. the use of locks is not possible, employees shall be instructed in the requirements of Section 12E01D. Following the application of locks or tags to energy isolating devices, all potentially hazardous stored or residual energy shall be relieved, disconnected, restrained, discharged, or otherwise rendered safe. Before starting work on systems that have been locked and tagged out, the authorized individual shall verify that the system has been successfully isolated and de-energized. Daily inspections shall be conducted to ensure that all requirements of the hazardous energy control procedures are being followed. Periodic inspections shall be documented and shall include the system where the hazardous energy control procedures were inspected, the date of the inspection, the names of employees performing and included in the inspections, any deficiencies in complying with the hazardous energy control procedures, and the means to enforce compliance with the hazardous energy control program. Equipment shutdown procedures. You need to identify the lockout points, locate and identify all energy isolation devices that apply to the machine or equipment to be locked out, determine the magnitude of the energy, the hazards of the energy to be controlled, and the methods to control the energy. Disconnect the device from all energy sources. Inspect the equipment to ensure all energy sources are disconnected. Release the stored or residual energy, such as that in capacitors, springs, elevated machine members, rotating flywheels, hydraulic systems, and pressurized systems such as air, gas, steam, or water. Following the application of locks and/or tags to energy isolating devices, all potentially hazardous stored or residual energy shall be relieved or otherwise rendered safe. Test the deactivation of the equipment to ensure that equipment cannot be energized. Checking that no personnel are exposed. Verify the isolation of equipment by operating the push button or other normal operating controls. Checking pressure gauges to ensure depressurization of lines. Inspecting electrical circuits to confirm zero voltage. Testing equipment by pushing start buttons or other controls to make certain the equipment will not run. Returning the operating controls to neutral or off position after the test, ensuring the equipment is now locked out and tagged out. Before locks and tags are removed and energy restored to the system, the authorized individual shall ensure that the following actions have been taken. The work area has been inspected and all non-essential items, for example, tools and materials, have been removed from the system. The system components are operationally intact. All employees have been safely positioned or removed from the area, and all affected individuals have been notified that the locks or tags are about to be removed. When the employee who installed the lock and tag is not available, the device may be removed by another individual appointed by and under the direction of the contractor, project manager, or contractor designated authority, providing the following procedures are complied with. The procedures are found in section 12.E.8A through E. In summary, a hazardous energy control plan must be implemented when hazardous energy exists. Workers must be appropriately trained and supervised. Approved safety plan and activity hazard analysis must be implemented. Regular site safety inspections must be conducted. Safety equipment and PPE must be used. Only authorized personnel may perform lockout and tagout. Identify all energy sources and establish a zero energy condition prior to working on equipment.